So there's a major update I want to configure in my data engineering fabric platform. And what's that update? So I noticed in data transformation step and also in the incremental load step that the category, because I chose South Africa because it's the closest, I mean Nigeria, and South Africa is the closest to me. So I chose it's basically the only African country that you can get their news information with the Bing News API, from what I can see. So I chose South Africa. But so far so good. When I was working on this project in the transformation step and in the incremental load step, I noticed that the way they categorize their news, um, basically there was no category for the news. I couldn't find any news category, and I think that news category is very good. It's going to be very important for us to have that category. Let's know what it like. Okay, is it a sport news? Is it the business news? Is this the finance news, agriculture news? I think that's going to be very important in many steps, and even Power BI step two. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going back to where the data, the news ingestion pipeline. I'm going to edit the market. I'm going to set the market as US. So I'm just going to go for US market. So I'm going to set the market as the United States instead of South Africa. So that's what I'm going to do here. So all the way, that's MKT. So if you go back to the Bing News API reference, you can see the markets in English for United States is EN US. So I'm going to copy EN US. I'm going to go back to the news ingestion pipeline to the relative URL. So I want to change that EN dot dash ZA forward to EN US. I'm going to save this and I'm going to update. Basically, I'm updating data set we're going to get. So, but let's preview it and see our results in a JSON structured way. But let's just see what it gives us. I do hope I can see something like the category, but I'm sure changing it to the US markets will give us the category we're looking for. We're looking for that category information. I think is very useful. It's going to be very useful as when we're trying to visualize with Power BI and things like that. Let's actually get the category of news. So yes, category sports. Yes, we have what I want. We have what I want. So yes, this will be very good. And what I'll do here is I've saved it, but I've not run it. I have not rerun it or rerun it. So I'm going to rerun this so it gets updated. Even in our data transformation step, we can get the category column. Like we have different column description and whatnot. So I want to also be able to get the category. So yes, let this run. It's gonna run for a while. It's not gonna take so much time. But yes, this is very important. I think it'll be very important to have for us to have a category of the news. So yes, that's why I changed the location. I would have gone for any location, but I prefer US location. So that's very good. So let this run, let this run. Pipeline run successfully ran these ingestion pipeline. So yes, if we go back to our data transformation, no, it was a disconnected session. I am just going to edit this and yeah, I'll show you the result of my editing. So yes, I've been able to just touch one or two things on my Spark notebook, just make sure that the change I made reflects. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just run everything. So I'll go to run all. So I have an empty table. I also I deleted the table previously because the table didn't have it had category but nothing was inside. Basically, it was not found, not found, not found, and it was for South Africa. But this is in this our case. I had edited the market to be US, so I don't want South African data. I just want US data. So that's what I want to do. Just change one or two things related to that, and now I can actually go ahead and run all. And as you can see, or let's wait by a bit. So I pressed or I clicked on run all because now I want us to be able to scroll down and see the categories and see not, we don't want to see not found inside. We actually want to see the category of the news. So that was the main reason why I changed the news Bing API location from South Africa to US because of course US will have a category. I don't know what's going on in the data set or whatever, but South Africa didn't have a category. And yes, having a category was going to be useful for me, especially when I'm visualizing Power BI. So That's the reason. So we are scrolling down, we're already seeing category sports, very satisfied. We are scrolling down, okay, the code. Let's go all the way to where we see they have cleaned. So we actually have titles. Obama and Trump's bromance. I think it's trending on TikTok now, you know, in the president's funeral or something. Yeah, so go ahead and yeah, you can actually see category and you have actual categories of the news, which is very good, which is what I wanted. So yeah, all the way. If you scroll down to you see other changes. I didn't really make any other change related to that. You see the change you see the data at when, I changed the date published to be a better or a more proper date. So yes, these are just the major updates I really wanted to apply to my work. And yeah, the other thing you can notice is that now the count has changed to 48 from 51. But yes, I think we're good and I can continue other steps in this project from here.